I'm Eileen, 29, a graphic designer living a quiet life in Seattle with my dog Milo and my boyfriend Lucas. I've always been cautious, the one who thinks twice before leaping, but Lucas's charm and Gwen's persistence convinced me to attend our 10-year high school reunion. Gwen, my best friend since we were kids, sent me a flurry of texts. "You have to come, Eileen. Community center, 7 p.m. It'll be fun, I promise." Lucas, usually indifferent to my social plans, was oddly enthusiastic. "Go, babe," he said, flashing his easy smile. "It'll be good for you to reconnect." I ignored the unease in my gut and agreed, hoping for a night of nostalgia. The community center was a blast from the past, decked out with balloons and old yearbook photos. Classmates mingled, their laughter mixing with 2015 pop hits. Gwen greeted me with a hug, her perfume sharp, her smile too bright. "Eileen, you're here," she said, pulling me through the crowd. Lucas trailed behind, his hand brushing mine, but his eyes scanned the room, lingering on Gwen a moment too long. I shook it off, paranoia, I told myself. Gwen and I had weathered high school dramas together. She was my rock. And Lucas? He'd been my anchor for 2 years, always there with a joke or a late-night coffee run. As the evening unfolded, I relaxed, chatting with old friends. Gwen kept mentioning an after-party in a private lounge downstairs, her voice laced with excitement. "It's exclusive," she whispered, her eyes gleaming. "Just a few of us. Lucas is coming too." I glanced at him, surprised. He hadn't mentioned it, but he nodded, his expression unreadable. I wasn't thrilled about splitting off from the main party, but Gwen's insistence was hard to resist. She led us through a dim hallway to a door marked "Private." My stomach twisted as we approached. "Who else is there?" I asked. "Just some old friends," Gwen said, her tone evasive. Lucas squeezed my shoulder, but his touch felt distant. I knocked on the door, and it creaked open to reveal 3 guys from our graduating class, Jake, Ryan, and Connor. They were the popular crowd back then, always strutting through the halls, and their grins now were just as smug. The room was sparse, a couch, a table, a flickering bulb. No party vibe, just an unsettling tension. "Eileen, you made it," Jake said, his voice too loud. Ryan and Connor exchanged glances, their postures stiff. Gwen closed the door, and Lucas stood oddly close to her, not me. My unease grew. "What's going on?" I asked. Gwen smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Just a little reunion surprise. Before I could press her, Lucas spoke, his tone sharp. "Yeah, Eileen, relax. Not everything's about you." His words stung, and the room's atmosphere shifted. Jake smirked, pulling out his phone. "Let's make this fun," he said, and I realized with a sinking heart that this wasn't the reunion I'd expected. The air in the lounge was thick, the single bulb casting harsh shadows. Jake, Ryan, and Connor formed a loose circle around me, their grins predatory. Gwen leaned against the table, her expression unreadable, while Lucas stood beside her, his arms crossed. My heart pounded. This felt wrong, orchestrated. "Gwen," I said, my voice steady despite my fear. "What is this?" She shrugged, avoiding my gaze. "Just a game, Eileen. A chance to revisit the past." "Revisit what?" I snapped, turning to Lucas. "You're okay with this?" He laughed, a cold sound I didn't recognize. "You're always so serious, Eileen. Lighten up. You're not the center of the universe." His words cut deeper than they should have, and I noticed Gwen's hand brush his arm, a gesture too familiar. My stomach churned. Was there something between them? Jake stepped closer, his phone raised. "You were always so high and mighty, Eileen. The quiet artist, too good for us. Gwen told us how you look down on everyone. I spun to face her. What? I never said that. Gwen's eyes flickered with guilt, but she didn't deny it. You always acted like you were better, she said softly. Moving on to your fancy art school, your perfect life with Lucas, you left me behind. Left you behind? I echoed, stunned. You're my best friend. I was always there for you. But as I spoke, memories surfaced. Gwen's growing distance, her vague texts, her envy when I got into college. Had I missed the signs? Connor chimed in, his voice mocking. Gwen and Lucas planned this little show. Said it was time you got taken down a peg. My blood ran cold. Lucas? I whispered, turning to him. His smirk confirmed it. What's he talking about? Lucas stepped forward, his eyes cold. You're clueless, Eileen. Always wrapped up in your sketches, your dreams. Gwen gets me, you don't. The room spun as his words sank in. He was cheating on me with Gwen, and this game was their way of rubbing it in my face. I tried to leave in anger, but Gwen stretched her hands so fast, daring me to leave. I paused. Not from shock, not from fear, but at the sound that made my eyes widen. My dress. It was yanked so hard that it tore down my waist, exposing an indecent amount of my sacred body parts. Oopsie. What a shame, Gwen ridiculed. Didn't expect that. Before I could respond, the door flew open, and a crowd of classmates poured in, phones out, laughing and jeering. Got her, Ryan shouted, and flashes blinded me as they recorded. Lucas stepped closer to Gwen, his arm around her, and said loudly, See, Eileen? This is what happens when you think you're above us. The crowd roared, their mockery a wave crashing over me. Humiliation burned my cheeks. I pushed through them, their laughter chasing me as I fled to the main hall. My purse felt light. My phone was gone. Panic surged. Had they taken it? I grabbed my coat and ran to my car, tears streaming down my face. Gwen's betrayal, Lucas's cruelty, the public shaming, it was too much, but I wasn't done. The police station was nearby, and I needed to report this. They'd gone too far. The police station's fluorescent lights buzzed as I sat across from Officer Daniels, a calm, no-nonsense woman. My voice shook as I recounted the night, Gwen's setup, Lucas's betrayal, the three guys' taunts, and the crowd's mockery. Online. They planned this, I said, wiping tears. Gwen and Lucas, they're together. They wanted to hurt me. Officer Daniels took notes, her expression sympathetic but professional. This sounds like harassment, possibly theft if they took your phone. Can you provide names and details? I listed Gwen, Lucas, Jake, Ryan, and Connor, my heart aching as I named the people I'd trusted. I don't know how far they'll take this, I said. They have my phone, my photos, everything. We'll investigate, she assured me. Stay safe and let us know if you receive any threats. She gave me her card, and I left, my mind racing. I needed answers. Why had Gwen turned on me? And Lucas, how long had he and Gwen been deceiving me? I drove to Lucas's apartment, my anger outweighing my hurt. His car was there, and I could hear voices inside. I knocked, and when he opened the door, Gwen was behind him, her face pale. Eileen, Lucas said, his bravado gone. What are you doing here? You humiliated me, I said, my voice shaking. Both of you, why? Gwen stepped forward, her eyes red. It wasn't supposed to go like that. It was just a joke to show you you're not perfect. A joke? I laughed bitterly. You cheated with my boyfriend, set me up and let them record it. That's not a joke, Gwen. Lucas smirked, but it was weaker now. You're too sensitive, Eileen. It was just fun. Fun? I snapped. You betrayed me. Both of you. I turned to Gwen. How long have you been with him? She looked away, and Lucas answered, his tone smug. A few months. You were too busy with your art to notice. The betrayal cut deeper than I'd imagined. I'd trusted them both, built my life around them. Before I could say more, my phone buzzed, in my purse. Confused, I pulled it out. A new text from an unknown number. Check your socials. My heart sank. I opened my account and saw a video, me in the lounge, surrounded by Jake, Ryan, and Connor. Lucas and Gwen laughing as I stood frozen, their taunts edited to make me look pathetic. The caption read, Eileen's big fall. It was already spreading. They didn't steal my phone, I whispered, realizing the truth. They hacked it. Gwen's eyes widened, but she didn't speak. Lucas shrugged, unrepentant. I left without another word, heading back to the police station. This wasn't just a prank, it was a coordinated attack. At the police station, I showed Officer Daniels the video, my hands trembling. They hacked my account, I said. It's online, and it's spreading. I explained the new details, Lucas's affair with Gwen, their role in the setup, the crowd's involvement. They all humiliated me, I said, my voice breaking. And they're also using my own account to do it. Officer Daniels nodded, her expression grim. This is cyberbullying and unauthorized access, both serious offenses. We'll trace the video and work to get it removed. Change your passwords immediately and enable two-factor authentication. She promised to investigate further and contact the platform to pull the video. Over the next week, I stayed offline, avoiding the comments and shares I knew were out there. The betrayal consumed me, Gwen's envy, Lucas's cruelty, the classmates who'd laughed. I replayed our history, searching for clues. Gwen's subtle jabs, Lucas's late nights at work, the signs were there, but I'd trusted them blindly. A few days later, Officer Daniels called with an update. They'd traced the video to Jake's IP address, and he'd confessed to hacking my account with a phishing link Gwen sent me weeks earlier. Lucas and Gwen had orchestrated the game, convincing Jake, Ryan, and Connor to join for their own grudges. The police recovered my account, and the video was removed, though not before it reached hundreds. Charges were filed for harassment and cybercrimes, and Gwen and Lucas were questioned. I needed closure, so I met Gwen at a quiet cafe. She looked exhausted, her usual spark gone. I'm sorry, she said, tears in her eyes. I was jealous. Your career, your confidence. Lucas, he made me feel seen. I didn't mean for it to go this far. You destroyed our friendship, I said, my voice steady. You and Lucas used me for your own egos. I trusted you. She nodded, unable to meet my gaze. I'm so sorry. I let jealousy get the best of me. I didn't know if I could forgive her, but her words gave me a strange peace. Lucas, I didn't bother confronting again. His betrayal was clear, and I was done with him. When we were done, I could hardly move, the weight of their actions heavy on my shoulders. I'd knocked on that lounge door, found Gwen, Lucas, and the others waiting to tear me down, and faced their mockery. But I'd gone to the police, reported everything, and taken back control. As I walked away from the cafe, my phone buzzed with a message from an old classmate, someone who'd seen the video before it was removed. You're stronger than they know, Eileen. Keep shining. I smiled, a spark of hope flickering. The humiliation had shaken me, but it hadn't broken me. I was ready to rebuild, one step at a time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel as it helps us to bring more stories around the world.